There was a long-running television program called Candid, where they would use a hidden camera to record pranks that they would pull on various individuals to see what kinds of reactions they would get from them. Well, one day they had set up shop in a candy store, and Peter Funt, who was the host of the show, would be playing the clerk. Well, they put a sign next to the cash register that day that said, "We don't give change," meaning the coins. They would still give the dollar bills back, but they weren't going to work with the coins. For example, if your total came to $3.20 and you gave them a $5 bill, they would give you the $1 back, but not the 80 cents. And they were rationalizing it by saying that coins have lost their value, that pennies are practically worthless, and that nickels and dimes and quarters didn't amount to much anymore, and it was just a hassle to deal with them. So they were only dealing with the dollar bills. Well, many people came in that day, and most of them that did were pretty put off by the whole thing. They didn't like it at all. In fact, they felt like they were being cheated. But one guy came in who was probably in his mid-30s, and his total came to $5.40, and he gave Peter Funt $6. Well, Peter Funt took the $6 and he put them in the cash register, and then he closed it up. And the man stood there for a moment, and he said, "What about my change?" And Peter Funt pointed to the sign that said, "We don't give change." And the man stood there and looked at it for a moment. And then he nodded and he said, "Okay." Well, later, Peter Funt went to interview this guy because he wanted to see how upset he was about this whole situation. But no matter how much Peter Funt tried to instigate some type of anger, the man wasn't going for it. And finally he said, I don't sweat anything." But Peter Funt persisted because he wanted to get some kind of reaction out of this guy, some kind of rise, because that's what this show was all about. And finally the guy said, "I don't let anyone rent space in my head." And what a great statement. Do you realize that when we get upset with people, that we're letting them take up space in our head? And we have better things to do with our minds than letting people affect us in that kind of negative way. Someone said one time, "Don't wrestle with pigs. You get dirty and they enjoy it." So remember that the next time you're tempted to get into some silly argument or vent your anger towards someone, especially over insignificant petty things. Thank you for watching, and be kind.